I made a poll over on my community post asking you all what weapon you were more excited for, Luna's Howl or Blast Furnace. To my surprise, with 14,000 votes, only 29% of people voted for Blast Furnace, and I think that is way too low. So in this video, I want to go in depth and explain why Blast Furnace is probably going to be the best legendary pulse rifle we have in the game right now, and if pulse rifles were ever to get a buff in PvE, this is for sure one you want to have. Alright, so starting off, let's take a look at the good perks. In the first column, it really doesn't have too many. It does have things like shoot to loot, which is one of the best perks in the game. You do have to play into it, but picking up ammo and orbs just from across the map, also reloading your weapons, is very, very strong. But it also has things like kinetic tremors, and this is probably going to be the best in-slot option on this first column. Other perks to look out for maybe could be like perpetual motion or even keep away, but in reality, the two perks you're looking for PvE is definitely shoot to loot or kinetic tremors. Now in the right column, literally almost every single one of these is pretty strong. You have kill clip for a 25% damage increase, you have firefly for ad clear, also a reload speed increase, you have one for all for one of the highest damage increases in the game, frenzy for a 15% damage increase while also maxing your handling and reload stat out, you have rampage to give you a 33% damage increase, rapid hit for more reload speed stability. This is probably the weakest one out of all of these, but it is on there and it's decent. And then even desperate measures to give you that 30% damage increase if you do play into it. And then finally, its origin trait is also very strong. You get grenade energy or melee energy depending on whatever subclass you have equipped when you get kills with weapons. So overall, very, very strong PvE option. And obviously there's also some PvP roles in here as well. But for PvE, let's talk about some perk combinations, and then I'll talk about the exact god role I want to go for towards the end of the video. So starting off, you have things like shoot to loot, which is going to pair especially well with things like firefly. Now this can pair with literally any other perk if you want to, just get a damage increase, and then you can obviously just pick up ammo wherever you want to. But with firefly, the firefly explosion can actually proc shoot to loot. So if you get a kill, it makes ammo, the firefly will blow up and it will give you the ammo, which is very, very nice while alongside reloading your weapon. If there are any enemies nearby ammo brick, you can also kill that enemy to proc firefly, and again, that will also pick it up. But like I was saying, even if you don't want firefly, you still just have the normal option of shooting the weapon and then taking any damage perk that you would like to. Now the other perk combinations are going to be any of these damage perks with kinetic tremors paired on top of that. Kinetic tremors is a very strong in-game PvE perk, and it works really well on this weapon. If we take a look down here at the bottom, as you can see, it takes pulse rifles 11 shots to be able to proc kinetic tremors. And then the very cool thing about this pulse rifle is that this is going to be an aggressive burst, so it's going to be a hard-hitting 4-burst fire. So with 3 bursts of this pulse rifle, theoretically, you will be able to proc kinetic tremors. And then like I was saying, pretty much any of these damage perks will work with this. Even things like rapid hit will work as well, just so you can get the reload speed up on it. Whatever option you would like to take, it will be a strong pairing. The fact that kinetic tremors in the first slot is what makes this very strong on its own. But if you want the absolute god roll, this is what I'm going to be looking out for. So starting off with barrels, personally, I'm going to be going with arrowhead break. This bumps the handling up, it gets the recoil direction. This is just my favorite barrel in the game. It just adds nice little benefits to the weapon. If you want to take anything else for more range or stability, you absolutely can. The first one is pretty much personal preference. Now in the magazine option, I'm going to be going with a flared magwell and then pairing that hopefully with a reload speed masterwork, so I can get this up to 61 reload speed, so I can reload the weapon very, very fast. And then in this first column, I am going to be taking kinetic tremors because again, this is going to be able to proc in 3 shots instead of 4, which is going to be very, very strong. And then I'm going to pair kinetic tremors with one for all. And the reason I'm going to do this is because one for all can proc off of kinetic tremors. So if you shoot an enemy 3 times to proc kinetic tremors, if this hits 3 additional enemies, it will proc one for all, since this technically counts as weapon damage. The other really cool benefit of that is the fact that one for all gives a 35% damage increase. This will not only buff the damage of the weapon, but it will also buff the kinetic tremors damage, because again, this counts as weapon damage. So they're kind of synergizing into each other. One can proc the perk, and then that perk can also increase the damage of the perk. And this combination right here is going to be one of the strongest in-game PvE GM type weapons. And if pulse rifles were to get a buff in Final Shape, I could even foresee this weapon being used in something like the Day 1 raid. It has crazy good stats, it has crazy good perk synergies, and it's even kinetic, so it will get 10% more damage to those unshielded enemies. But alright, I think that is going to do it all for the Blast Furnace. If you didn't want this weapon to begin with, I really hope this video helped change your mind. I'm 100% going to be going for this role myself, and I really think you all should too. This is not one you want to miss out on. Its perk combinations are absolutely disgusting, and I am just eagerly waiting for Bungie to buff pulse rifles in PvE. Anyways though, I wish you all the best of luck on farming for this. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Peace.